All right, well, earlier in the show, we heard from CommonGround Volunteer Crystal Klug about cutting silage for feed, and that interview will be on our Facebook page a little later this morning. Now, Crystal is back with a recipe to share, and Taryn is standing by now with more.
Thank you, John. Yes, we're always excited when CommonGround Wednesdays roll around because we get some nice recipes. This is a good one today as we're heading into the fall season. Of course, it's soup season, and so people sometimes like to have some bread with that.
Absolutely. And a few years ago on Pure Nebraska, I shared a recipe called cider beef stew, and it's still one of my favorite fall stews to make. And I always serve this cheddar biscuit alongside with it, so I thought I would share that recipe with you today.
Where did you find the recipe, Crystal?
I do a lot of Googling.
Do you?
As a home chef, I guess.
Yeah, and so this is one that's popular with your family.
Yes, and
Yeah,
I think it's also a copycat of the Red Lobster biscuit that people love so much.
Okay.
So yeah, I love to find copycat recipes as well.
All right, so you start with some flour?
Yes, so I've already mixed up our dry ingredients. So I have the flour and the sugar and the baking powder and the garlic powder and the salt.
Okay.
It calls for 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, so if you don't like, you can always decrease that if you'd like. And then we're just gonna add our wet ingredients, which is our buttermilk and our butter. And we're gonna mix that together. If you do not have buttermilk on hand, an easy substitute is if you take white vinegar and you put a tablespoon of white vinegar in a measuring cup and fill the rest to the cup line with milk and kind of let it do its thing for a couple minutes, and then you'll have buttermilk.
Okay.
And so after we get this mixed in, we're just gonna fold in our cheese, our shredded cheese. I like to shred it. If you want to take a shortcut and do pre-packaged cheese too, shredded cheese, you can totally do that. And quick breads, I think people get intimidated with breads, but quick breads especially, they use simple ingredients and they're easy, really easy to make and pull together.
And there's nothing better than fresh bread.
Absolutely, absolutely. So once we've got our cheese folded in, you can pat it out and you can use a biscuit cutter. What I like to do is just use a large scoop, and I just like to scoop out my biscuits. It looks a little more rustic, but that's all right.
That looks good.
No one cares. And then you're gonna bake these at 450 degrees for about 10 to 12 minutes.
Okay.
And then when they come out of the oven, then you're gonna baste it with a little bit more butter and your garlic powder and the fresh parsley.
Okay.
So
and you just put that on top then?
Yes, yes, when it comes out of
And here's
the
the
oven.
scoop that you used. Okay, so very easy to do.
Super easy.
And this is what they look like when they're done.
They're so good. Everybody
Perfect.
loves a fresh biscuit.
Oh yeah, no, these look great. These are really good, Crystal.
Perfect with soup.
Very, very tasty, moist, really great.
Yes, and like I said, definitely try the cider beef stew this fall and serve it with cheddar biscuits.
All right, these are so good. Again, this recipe is on our Pure Nebraska Facebook page and on my Facebook page. If you want to copy it down, you'll want to try these. Back to you,